questions for the directors from San Clemente that put this on the agenda. So I'm looking at your proposals here, and I just want to make sure I understand exactly what it is you're asking for. As I look at the very first proposal, are you actually suggesting that I'll read your words, to put out a request for qualifications and bids for a true third-party independent forensic audit of all TCA consultant contracts, including but not limited to contracts for outreach, lobbying, legal, etc. So every contract that the TCA has, you're proposing that they be audited? And while the forensic audit is being completed, item 2 says, suspend all current and future consulting contracts. Just suspend them, regardless of what the contracts provide. Okay? Plain meaning of the words, I just want to make sure that's really what you meant. Number 3, to suspend all staff, all TCA staff, suspend all staff responsible for overseeing consultant contracts. Is that with pay, without pay?
Without. Cut back. Stop this waste and abuse.
I don't know what that means, though.
Suspend all staff responsible for overseeing contracts until the above forensic analysis is complete. Is there any ambiguity that you want me to
Yes.
address
Do
specifically?
they get paid? Do they not get paid?
No, well, they're not going to be reviewing the contracts. That's the whole point.
Do they still have any activity?
Let me finish. Suspend them from reviewing the contracts. Correct.
That's not what it says. That's why I'm asking for clarification.
And I just provided it. Thank you.
All right. Number 5, direct staff to collect and present to the board an accounting of all political donations by a TCA consultant to a board member, as well as non-TCA consulting contracts awarded by a board member or their agency to a TCA consultant. So each elected official already has to file a 460 disclosing all their political donations. You're wanting our staff to go out and prepare a summary and present it?
Yes.
If they want to do a summary, that's fine. Otherwise, they can collect the forms, present them. I know a lot of local agencies, public agencies have individual policies and practices that deal with political donations from consultants. If the board wants to consider that, I would certainly take a look at that as well.
Okay. I listened intently as the directors from San Clemente gave their opening remarks. I heard that these are described as common sense practices that should have been adopted long ago, and that all of us would demand these same types of proposals in our own cities. Mm-hmm. How many of these have already been adopted in the city of San Clemente?
You know, it's interesting you ask, because Director Ferguson and I are in the process of asking for and did ask for an update to our transparency ordinances to provide all of this information to the public.
So today, how many have been?
Please. We're in the process of doing that. So yes, we're updating that as well.
No, I'm not done. I'll simply say this. I supported the campaigns of our 2 newest directors from the city of San Clemente in their recent elections in November to get elected. Why? Because they spoke to me of a desire to change San Clemente's long-standing adversarial and counterproductive relationship with the Transportation Corridor Agency, to fundamentally change San Clemente's approach to the TCA, to play a positive, a constructive role in working with all the TCA member agencies to help improve the quality of life and safety for our residents, achieve increased mobility for residents throughout Orange County. Of course, representing your constituents, of course, but to work in a positive, constructive, good faith framework. This agenda item is not at all what I was expecting. Not at all.
So
to me, I'm not done. This, to me, in my opinion, it's another obvious political assault on the TCA. It's an attempt by San Clemente to effectively put the TCA out of business. The breadth and scope of these recommendations are just so, again, in my opinion, so overreaching. In all my years of public service, I've never seen anything like it. I believe the recommendations, really, they're outrageous. I think they're insulting to the TCA staff.
It's insulting
and
to
the
take
members
homes
of
and businesses
the board
that
of
were never
directors
intended to
sitting up here
go.
with you. It's offensive.
It's offensive. You're all funded by the TCA's
I'd
consultants.
like to understand what the implication is when you want to go and scour 460s that are already of record for every elected official here. What are you trying to infer by whatever those would find? Why don't
Hopefully
you
the
turn to
FBI
your fellow
clears that up
directors
for
and
you,
say what it
Tony.
is you're trying to say about the integrity of the members of the TCA board,
Very little integrity.
your colleagues here.
Most
What is
of
it you
you.
hope to find there?
Some of you are gems.
So there's no inference